Hello everyone, you're welcome to class. Okay, this is another day. Those of you that were in the last class and you are here again, I welcome you to today's class. And if you are new on this channel, you are as well welcome. Okay, so we are going to continue from where we stop on the mensuration. Okay, so this is the first question we are going to be looking at for today. Okay, so in a circle of radius 14 centimeter, a chord subtends 90 degrees at the center. So find the perimeter of the segment. So that is the question. So I want you to try this question. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes. Why technically we'll be waiting for others to join us. So as you are solving your problem, you can share the links with your friends that you observe they are not online. Let them join the class. So let me give you 2 minutes to quickly attend to that. So if you have the answer to that problem, you can send your answer to the platform. Let's see. And don't forget, as you are joining the class, ensure you tap the like button. Make sure you tap the like button. If you are new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right. So let's see. Okay, anyone with the answer to that problem? So if you solve and you have your answer, you can drop that in the comment section. So let's move very fast and solve this problem. Don't forget, make sure you tap the like button, and if you are new, make sure you subscribe. Okay. All right. Now let's look at this question. Now, in a circle of radius of 14 centimeters, so we have to itemize all the parameters given. Okay. So we are given that radius is 14 centimeter. Okay. And we have a chord, okay, we subtend an angle of 90 degrees at the center of the circle. So we have theta to be what? 90 degrees. Now the question now is to find the perimeter of the segment. Now let me quickly remind you what we call a segment. A segment is a fraction of the circle that is divided by a chord. Now look at it. If we have a circle of this form and is divided by a line. Now this is the center of the circle. So this is what we call a chord. So we can have a chord AB. Now in this question, we are told now that this chord subtends an angle at the center of the circle, and this angle subtended at the center is 90 degrees. Okay, so and this circle also have a radius of 14 centimeters. What do we want to get here? We want to get the perimeter of this segment. This is the segment. Now that is the boundary of this segment. So it looks like this. And don't forget, this segment now is bounded by a chord and an arc. All right, so now let us now get this length of this chord. Okay, that's going to help us. So we add that to the length of arc. Okay, can we do that now? Okay, so let's see. We have that perimeter of a segment is going to be the length of chord plus length of arc, or you say length of arc plus length of chord. Okay, so whichever one. So what is the formula for length of chord? That is 2r sine theta over 2 plus length of arc, that is theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So this is the formula. Okay, so we can just plug in all these values. So let's plug the values in. So we have 2 times 14, which is the radius, 14 centimeter, okay, sine 90 over 2, okay, plus 90 over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times 14. Okay, can we see that now? All right, let's see how do we simplify this. Okay, now 90 goes here is 1, 90 goes here is 4, 2 goes here is 2, 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 11, 7 goes here 1, 7 goes here 14 is 2. Okay, so now let's look at this. When you multiply this, you have 28. Now let's write this out. So we have, what do we have here? So we have 28 sine 45. 90 divided by 2 is 45. Okay, so plus, now let's look at the numerator. What do we have there? We have 11 and 2. So that is 11 times 2, that's 22. Okay, what do we have in the denominator here? It's just 1. So that's 22 over 1. Okay, all right. So now let's see. We have 28 sine 45. Sine 45 is the same thing as square root of 2 over 2. Or you punch your calculator. Now, okay, punch your calculator and tell me what is sine 45. Okay, drop your answer in the comment section. Let's see. What do you have? Sine 45. You can use your calculator, or better still, you make use of your 4-figure table. Is anybody dropping the answer? Yes. Okay. Yes, is the board clear now? Is it clear? All right, can we all see the board now? Can we see the board? Is it better now? Okay, so I want to be sure that we can all see the board. So can we see the board? Is it clearer? Please, can you hear me? Oh, hello, can you hear me? Can we see the board clearer? Okay, is it better now? All right. Okay, okay. Okay, so that means we can continue. All right, so now, okay, thank you. Yeah, all right, I can see your response. Okay, so now we find sine 45. So what is sine 45? Now let's see sine 45. Your calculator, that is 0.7071. Okay, plus 22. Or if you want it in short form, okay, you can always do that too. You multiply this times 28. So what do you have when you multiply? I think you have 19.798 plus 22. So your answer now becomes 39.798. So you can correct your answer to the nearest 2dp. So if you correct it to 2dp, that's going to be 39.80. So this is going to be the answer to the problem. Okay, so any comments, any question based on what we've just done now before we move on to the next thing? Okay. Okay, let's take the next question. All right, maybe before I take the next question, I should just explain what we just did here because the network was not friendly the other time. Okay, so in a circle of radius 14 centimeter, a chord subtends 90 degrees at the center. You have to find the perimeter of the segment. Okay, now want to find the perimeter of the segment. We said the perimeter of the segment is the addition of length of chord plus length of an arc. Right, so and that is the formula we have here. So now in the question we are given the radius to be 14 centimeter, angle is 90 degrees. So you just plug it into this formula. Please, you are supposed to be familiar with this formula. Okay, so now so you plug these values here into this formula and you simplify, which we have done, and then down you have this answer. Okay, so now let's move down to another question that looks like this. Okay, another example. In a circle of radius 14 centimeter, a chord subtends an angle of 120 degrees at the center. Find the perimeter of the minor segments. I is equal to the 7. Now, I want you to try this question. I actually want you to give me the answer. It's just a replica of what we just did now. So I want to be sure maybe you understand the one I just did here now. So it's just a replica. We are making use of the same formula. So just look at the values given and plug all those values inside the formula and let me know what you have. Okay, so this one now, every one of us should be able to solve this problem. This one is just a replica of what I just finished now. So can we try this? And let's drop our answer in the comment section. Don't forget, those of you that have not tapped the like button, ensure you do that. Okay, so now let's do this one within 2 minutes. Let's do that very fast. So I want to believe you guys are with your writing materials. I told you, whenever I want to have class like this, make sure you get your writing materials close to you and probably your calculator or your figure table. Okay, so now let's see what you have. I'm giving you 2 minutes to attend to that. Once you get your answer, please just drop your answer in the comment section. So it should not take you 2 minutes to attend to that question. Okay. All right. So the formula to use is already on the board there. Now you can see the formula for calculating perimeter of a segment, minor segment. So that is the formula. So everybody should be able to do this now. So since we already have the formula, Yes, you have less than a minute now to drop your answer. Yes, I'm waiting for Toyosi, Moturayo, and others. Joseph, Odesonya. It's been a while, Odesonya. You are welcome to class. Okay. So, all right. And John, you're welcome to class. It's been a while. Okay, show me there. You're welcome to class. So please drop your answer in the comment section. So is there anybody with the answer? Oh, this question is not difficult. Or does it look difficult? It's not difficult. It's not difficult. So I'm not going to claim this formula because that's the formula I'm going to use. So I expect every one of you to have the answer. It's not difficult. Not difficult. Okay, now let's see. Now let's solve. Let's solve the problem. Now, in the question, we have in a circle of radius 14 centimeters, just like what we did earlier. We have the circle like this. A circle of radius 14 centimeters. Okay. A chord subtends an angle of 120 at the center. So the angle here is 120 degrees. This is a chord called AB, center O. It subtends an angle at the center of the circle. So that's what we have there. Now the question now says that we should find the perimeter of the minor segment. This is a chord that is dividing this circle into two parts. So this is the minor segment, this part. So the question wants us to get this perimeter. That's it. That's what we want to get. This length of a chord and this is an arc AB. So we just add this and this together. And I said that the formula for calculating length of a chord is this 2r sine theta over 2. So this for this length of chord, and this an arc now. This is the formula for calculating length of an arc. So you have everything. So all you just need to do is just plug in the values. R is given to be 14, theta is given to be 120, and that's all. Okay, now let's plug in the values. So we have 2 times 14, okay, sine 120 over 2 plus 120 over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times r, which is 14. Okay, so this will give you 28 sine 60 degrees plus 120 goes there 1, 120 goes there is 3. So 7 goes there 1, 7 goes there 2. So and what we have at the top here now, we have 2, 2, 22. So 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 22, that's 88. 88 over 3. Okay. So now we have 28. So what is sine 60? Okay. Please, can you tell me what is sine 60? Anyone with portable calculator, please, I want you to do that. Tell me what is sine 60? Drop your answer in the comment section. Very fast. Can we do that? What is sine 60? Sine 60. Yes, anyone? Sine 60. Please, I want to believe you can all hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, what is sine 60? Sine 60. Yes, Motunrayo, can you hear me? Toyosi, can you hear me? Are you there? And others? Okay, what is sine 60? Can you hear me? Okay, yes. Oh, all right. Okay, so that means you can hear me. So Motunrayo have dropped an answer. So that's 0.8660. Okay, 0.8660. So 0.8660. So plus now, when you divide this, 3 goes in 8, that is 2. So you are left with 2. 3 goes in 28, that is 9. It remains 1, that's 1 over 3. Okay, so when you multiply this, what do you have? Times 28. So that's going to give you 24.25 plus this is the same thing as 29.33. Okay, so when you add, what do you have? 29.33. You have 53.578 centimeters. So to 4 SF, so that's 53.58 centimeters. So this is going to be the answer. Yes. Any question based on that? Any question based on that question, on this solution? Any question based on that? Yes, I'm asking, can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So if you can hear me, now let's move down to the next thing. So this is 29 number 1 over 3. So that's what we have. Okay. So it's not 2 over because 3 goes in 28. Okay. So that's going to be 9. So it will remain 1. So okay. Now let's move down to the next question. Okay, this is another one. A chord of length 12 centimeter is drawn in a circle of radius 10 centimeter. Find the perimeter Okay, so can we all see the question? So this is another question here. Yes, I always want you to make an attempt. Just look at the question and ruminate on it. Just make an attempt and see if you can come up with something. Now, the best way to know mathematics is for you to think, not just for you to listen to teaching alone. You must also try and tax your brain and see what can you bring out from it. You understand? And don't just always wait for solution. It's always good when you make an attempt, before the question is being solved. So that will give you a better understanding about it. So I'm giving you 2 minutes to just go through the question, look at it, make an attempt and see what you can bring out. So by the time we start solving it now, so we see probably maybe what you have and what you are going to do here is going to align. All right, so now let's try that. So I observe some of you have not tapped the like button. If you believe this class or probably maybe is interesting to you, make sure you tap the like button if you actually enjoy this class. Okay, so now let's do that and drop our answer in the comment section. Let's see what we have here. Okay, who is just coming? Okay, I can see it. Okay, that's Ashubamu. You're welcome to class. So no problem. So look at the question and see if you can make an attempt before we solve together. Make sure you have your writing materials. Make sure you are doing something. That's the best way to learn mathematics. Anybody with the answer before we solved the problem? Okay, yeah, because of our time, so we have to solve the problem. So you can cross-check with what you have there if you are solving the problem. Now look at the question. A chord of length 12 centimeter is drawn in a circle of radius 10 centimeter. You have to find the perimeter of the corresponding minor segments of the to the nearest tenth. So tenths. Now let's look at the diagram. Now look at it. We have a chord. This is a chord called AB. Now the length of the chord has been given. The length of the chord is given is what? 12 centimeter. That's the length of this chord, AB. All right. Now we have radius. The radius is also given in the question. What is the radius? 10 centimeter. So R is 10 centimeter. Chord is 12 centimeter. Okay. Now the question asks you to find the perimeter of these minor segments. Now you see, if I want to find the perimeter, I'm going to add the length of the chord plus the length of the arc. But if I'm to find length of arc, you know I need an angle. You know, do you remember the formula for finding length of an arc? That's theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So I need theta. So, and I don't have theta, this angle in the question. So now let's see how we're going to get theta so that we'll be able to get the length of this arc. Because we have been given the length of chord. So I don't need to calculate for length of chord again. So what I need to get now is this length of arc. Okay. So now let's get this theta. So see, we are given length of chord equals to 2r sine theta over 2. Now this is the formula for finding length of chord. Now the length of chord has been given in the question to be 12 centimeters. So let's plug in. We have 12 centimeter equals to 2 times 10. The radius is 10 centimeter sine theta over 2. Okay, here you can divide both sides by 2 times 10. So we have 12 over 2 times 10 equals to sine theta over 2. Can you see that now? So let's find arcsine of both sides while we also simplify this. Don't forget, if I simplify this, if I say 4 goes here is 3. And this is 20 now. So 4 goes in 20. That is what? That is 5. So that means we have arcsine of 3 over 5 equals to theta over 2. Can you see that? So now you can cross multiply. Now theta times 1, we have theta equals to 2 arcsine of, now when you divide it, this is 0.6. Okay, so we have theta equals 2 times. Now arcsine of 0.6. Yes, now you know you are doing that for me. Arcsine of 0.6. So if you have your calculator, just press second function sine and you type your 0.6. Or if you are checking your four-figure table, you can check on your four-figure table sine of angle where you can see 0.60000. Okay. Okay, so what do we have? Arcsine of 0.6. Arcsine of 0.6. What do we have? Arcsine of 0.6. Yes. All right. Okay. Motorayo has given us the answer. This is 36.87. Okay. 87. All right. Okay. Thank you. 36.87. So that is 36.87. So we can multiply that by 2. So when you multiply that by 2, what do we have? So we have 73.74 degrees. So this is what we have as theta. Okay, now the next thing now is to get the perimeter of this segment. So we add the length of chord plus length of arc. So that's all. And we have our answer. All right, so how do we go about that? Okay, so we have perimeter of segment equals to length of chord plus length of arc. Length of chord has been given in the question. That's 12. So I don't need to I don't need any calculation for that. Plus length of arc. That one is theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So this is what I need to work on now. So I have 12 plus, now theta has been gotten earlier. So we have 73.74 over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times 10. Okay, times 10. All right, so that gives us 12 plus, now let's simplify. 10 cancel this. 2 goes there 18, 2 goes there 1, 2 goes there 9, 2 goes there 11. Okay, so what we have now is 73.74 times 11. Okay, everything all over 9 times 7, that's 63. Okay, so we have 12 plus. Now let's evaluate this. What do we have for that? We have 73.74 times 11. So we have 811.14 over 63. So when you divide that with 63, so what do we have? So that means we now have 12 plus 12.88. 12.88 in centimeter. So therefore, our final answer now is going to be 24.88 centimeters. Now the question wants us to express our answer in what? To the nearest tenth. So to the nearest tenth means to the nearest 1 dp. So the answer will be approximately 24.9 centimeters. So this is going to be the answer to the problem. Yes. Any question, any observation based on what we just did now? So if you have any question, any observation based on what we did, please, you can drop your question and observation in the comment section. Yes. All right. Okay, can we move down to the next? To the next question. If there's no question, let's move down to the next question. Okay. In a circle, the perimeter of a minor segment is 40 centimeter. The chord is 16 centimeter long, and the radius is 10 centimeter. Find the angle subtended at the center. To the nearest degree. Okay, yes, this is another lovely question. Now, what do we have there? Now, in a circle, the perimeter of a minor segment is 40 centimeters. You can see this time around now, you are not asked to calculate the perimeter of a circle. You can see the way questions are being, twist. All right. So this time around, you are not asked to find the perimeter. This time around, perimeter has been given of the minor segment. Now, the chord is 16 centimeters. The chord has been given, so long, and the radius is 10 centimeters. Now, what the question wants you to get now is the angle subtended at the center of the circle by what? By the chord, by this chord. So that is what the question wants us to get. Okay, so I hope every one of you now have the idea of the question. So now let's solve the problem. Now this problem is also simple, just like what we just did. It's just a kind of small twist that we have there. So let's see how. Now let's sketch the diagram and see. Now this is the center. Okay, so we have a chord which length has been given to be what? 16 centimeter. Right, so, and we have the radius. What is the radius? The radius is 10 centimeter. Okay, so what else is given? We are given the perimeter of the segment. So perimeter of segment has been given to be what? 40 centimeter. So 40 centimeter. Now what the question wants us to get now is the angle subtended at the center of the circle. Oh, okay, so now how do we get that angle? Now the first thing I'm going to do now is look at what is given. I'm giving perimeter of segments. So I'm going to write out the formula for perimeter of a segment. Okay. Now look at it. Perimeter of segment equals to what? Length of chord plus length of what? Length of arc. Okay. Length of chord plus length of arc. You get that now? So now this has been given perimeter of segments. That's 40. Let me just plug that in. We have 40 equals to length of chord has been given. That's 16. So I have 16. You can see the reason why you don't need to cram the formula. If you cram the formula now, you'll be having issues. So you don't need to cram the formula, understand the formula. Okay, so plus length of arc. So length of arc is not given. So, but we know the formula. The formula is theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Okay. So now I'm going to plug in the values of r. That is 10. So I'll just plug that in. And let me move this one to this side. So let's do that. So I will subtract 16 here. I will also subtract 16 here. So when you subtract 16 here, you'll be having 40 minus 16. Okay. Do you understand that? So this one will have given you 0. So that means we have 40 minus 16 equals to, now we have theta over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times 10. So this cancel 1 0 here. 2 goes here is 18, 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 9, 2 goes here 11. So, and when you subtract, what do you have? You have 24. You have 24 equals to theta times 11. That's 11 theta. Everything over 63. Okay. So the next thing is to cross multiply. Let's cross multiply and see what we're going to have. So we cross multiply this over 1. So we have 11 theta equals to 24 times 63. So we have theta equals to 24 times 63 over 11. All right. So now when we evaluate that, what are you going to have? Okay, so we have 24 times 63 divided by 11. So now theta is 137.45 degrees. So that is what we have. But the question asks you to correct your answer to the nearest degree. So to the nearest degree, so that's going to be 137 degrees. Since this one is not up to 5, so this is the nearest degree. It's the same thing as saying to the nearest whole number. So 137 degrees. So that is the answer to that. Yes, any question, any observation? Okay, so if you have any question based on what you have done, you can okay, someone is saying we don't understand the last question. So which area? Okay, which area in particular you want me to explain? Which area? Okay, there's no big deal in what I've just done here. So now let's go through the question again. For those of you that didn't understand, so I'm going to go through the solution again. Just pay attention and fix your eyes on the screen. Now, in a circle, just like what we have here, in a circle, the perimeter of the minor segment is 40 centimeters. Look at it. Perimeter, this minor segment, the perimeter is given. This is the perimeter. So look at it. What are the boundaries? What make the boundary of perimeter of a segment? We have a chord like this and an arc like this. So once you join together, it becomes segment. So perimeter of a segment. Okay, so you take note of that. So the perimeter, the addition of this arc, length of arc, and this chord has been given to the what? To the 40 centimeter in the question. Okay, so now the chord is 16 centimeter. Look at it, chord is 16 centimeter. So what we need now is just this one. Okay, the chord has been given to be 16 centimeter. That is it. And the radius is 10 centimeter. The radius is the shortest distance between the center of the circle and any part of the circumference. So that is 10 centimeter given there. Okay, so now you have to find the angle subtended at the center to the nearest degree. Now this is what we want to get, this angle here. All right, so you don't need to stress yourself. Just write out the formula. This is the formula. Formula for calculating perimeter of a segment is length of chord, this one, length of chord plus length of arc. This is length of arc. So fortunately, in this question, we have been given length of chord to be 16. So that's why we have 16 here. It has replaced this length of chord plus length of arc. Length of arc is not given in the question, so we have to write out the formula. This is the formula for finding length of arc. Right? This one, this second one. So, and in fact, that is where we are going to have the angle we are actually looking for. So now, how do we go about that? So the next thing now is look at what we have here. We have these two. Pi is 22/7 and r is 10. Okay, so now what you do now is this we cancel, this cancel one here, right? So and 2 goes in 36, that is 18. Okay, and the 2 goes in 2, that's 1. 2 goes in 18, that's 9, and 2 goes in 22, that's 11. So what we are left with up here is theta and 11. Okay, so you have that, and what we have here, and we have 63. So you can cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, you have 11 theta times 1, you have this times this, you have that. So just multiply this and divide by 11. So you can make use of your adding machine to do that. So multiply together and you have this. But the question asks you to correct your answer to the nearest degree. So the nearest degree is to the nearest whole number. So that is 137. So yes, with that recap, I want to believe you've gotten the explanation. Yes, Matthew Kuyomi. Yes. Okay, so now we can move ahead if you have gotten the explanation. So let's move to the next thing. Okay, so the next question here is this: the area of a sector of a circle is 154 centimeters square, and its radius Okay, so now that is the question. Now, the area of a sector of a circle is 154 centimeters square and its radius is 14 centimeters. Find the perimeter of the corresponding segment. Corresponding segment, give your answer correct to the nearest centimeter. Okay. So let's solve this question. Now, as we are solving each of the question, I want you to pay attention to the method and the way question is being solved. Whenever you are solving mathematics, ensure that you show your workings. Your steps is very, very important. So if you jump steps, you will lose points. So make sure you pay attention to the step as we are doing it one after the other. All right. So let's look at this. Now the area of a sector is 154 centimeters square. Now look at it. How does a sector look like? Now this is the center of the circle. Now this is the sector. Here, what we have here. So let me bring out the sector here. So it looks like this. We call it the minor sector. Okay, an angle is of this center of the circle, an angle is subtended at the center of the circle. All right, so now let's go through the question again. The area of a sector of a circle is 154 centimeters. So area of sector equals to 154 centimeters square. This area here has been given. And its radius is 14 centimeters. R is 14 centimeters. So this R is 14 centimeters. Okay. Now the question says, find the perimeter of the corresponding segment. Okay, we want to get the perimeter of this corresponding segment. Look at it. There's a segment A. We want to get the perimeter. You see, everything is still round perimeter of a segment. Okay, so now, so you may be given an information based on the area of the sector, and you'll be asked to find the perimeter of a segment, just like what we have in this question. So just pay attention to the question. So now I need to know this formula for finding area of a sector. So that's what I'm going to write out now. So let me see. So we have area of a sector equals to theta over 360 times pi r squared. You can see the difference between perimeter of a an length of an arc. Sorry, length of an arc and area of a sector. Can you see the difference? Okay, good. So now this time around we have area of a sector given to be 154. That is given the question. We need to get this one. That will help us now to get the perimeter here. So we have theta over 360 times 22 over 7 times r. R is 14 times 14. Can you see that now? Okay, so now we say 7 goes here 1, 7 goes here 2. Okay, now 2 goes here is what? Is 180. 2 goes here is 11. 2 goes here is 90, and 2 goes here is 14. Okay, we can still divide by 2. 2 goes here is 45. 2 goes here is 1. So now let's tidy it up now. So we have 154 equals to, so let's multiply this and this. So we have theta 11 and 7. So that is going to give us 77 theta over, so we have 45 and 1 here. So 45 times 1, that's 45. So here you can divide or cross multiply before you divide. So you cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, what do you have? Okay, so when you cross multiply, you have 77 theta equals to 154 times 45. So we have theta equals to 154 times 45 over 77. So let's evaluate that. Let's see, what do we have for that? 77 times 45 divided by, 154 times 45. So that's going to give you 90. So that's what we have. So you have 90 here. Okay, so that's 90 degrees. Okay, so that's the angle subtended at the center of the circle, or at the center here. All right, so now the question now asks us to find perimeter of segment. So we can write that out. Perimeter of segment equals to length of the chord, that's 2r sine theta over 2 plus length of arc theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So by now, every one of you should be familiar with this. So we have been using it over and over and over. So you don't need to cram the formula now. So now let us now see. Let's plug in these values. So we have 2 times r. What is r? That's 14 sine 90 over 2, because we have gotten theta to be 90 here. So plus 90 over 360 times 2 times 22 over 7 times 14. Okay. Please don't say these two cancel this one here. So you cannot connect this and this together. So many students make mistake here. So you evaluate these values at the right hand side separately and the one at the left hand side separately. Then you now add together. Let's pay attention to that. So we have 28 sine 45 here plus, now 90 goes here 1, 90 goes here is 4. 4 goes, 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here, 2 goes here 2, sorry, 1. So 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 11. Okay, so that means we have 11 times 14, okay, over 7. Okay, we can still simplify. 7 goes here 1, 7 goes here 2. So that means we'll be having 11 times 2 here over 1. So we have 28. So what is sine 45? That's what? 0. What? You should be able to check that for me now. That's 7071. Confirm if this is correct. Plus 22. Okay. So now, so let's multiply this. Let's see what we have. Okay, times some 28. So what do we have? We have 19.79. 19.79. So plus 22. So our final answer is 39.79. Okay, so that's going to be in centimeter. Okay, so now to the nearest, let's say 1 dp. So to 1 dp now is going to be 39.8 centimeter. This is going to be the answer to. But the question says to the nearest what? Nearest centimeter. So that's what the question says. So that means the answer is going to be what? 40. The question says to the nearest centimeter. Nearest centimeter. So that is to the nearest unit, to the nearest whole number. So just since this one is up to 5, so you increase this one by 1. That gives us 40 centimeter. So this is the answer to the problem. Okay. So any question based on what we have done before we move on? Any question? Any observation? Yes. Okay. All right. There's no question based on what we have done. So that means we can move forward. We can move forward. Okay. Okay, let's look at this question. A chord of a circle of radius 3a has a length of 28 centimeter. Find the value of a and the distance of the chord from center. Okay, yes, this is another question. So let's look up. This is A and not 9. A. And this also A. And now a chord of a circle has radius 3 centimeter, has length of 28 centimeter. Now you have to find the value of A and the distance of the chord from the center of the circle if it subtends 40 degrees at the center of the circle. Now let's sketch the diagram. So we have this. The center of the circle, we have a chord. We have a radius. Now, the radius is 3a centimeter. So now the angle subtended at the center is 40 degrees. Okay, angle is 40 degrees. What else are we giving? We are giving the length of the chord. Length of the chord AB. Length of chord AB. So we have it to be what? 28 centimeter. So that has been given in the question. All right, so the question asks us to find A. So now we don't have much problem. So let's get A first. So before we now move down to the second part of the question. So how do we get A? Now I've been given the length of the chord. So I can get A. Now see, what's the formula for finding length of chord? We have length of chord equals to 2r sine theta over 2. Okay, the length of chord is what? That's 28. That has been given in the question. So let's just plug in that. So we have 28 equals to 2 times r. What is r? The radius. Now that is 3a. You get that? So sine 40 over 2. The angle subtended at the center, right? So now this will give you 28 equals to 6a. 2 times 3a, 6a sine 20. All right, so now I want to make a to be the subject of the formula. Everything beside a can come under. So I'll divide both sides by 6 sine 20. So I have a equals to 28 over 6 sine 20. You understand that? I divide both sides by coefficient of a. Everything, because I want to isolate a. So everything, comes under 28 here now. So, and this gives you 28 over 6 times. So what is sine 20? Can you do that for me and drop your answer in the comment section if you can hear me? Yes, what is sine 20? So I need someone to give me that answer. Yes, what is sine 20? Sine 20 is what? Anybody? Sine 20? So what is sine 20? Okay, that is 0.420. Okay, good. Thank you, Moturayo and Mafikuyomi. Yes. Okay, so we have 0.3420. Okay, so that's what we have. So we now have A equals to, now that's 28 over, so let's multiply that by 6 times 6. Okay, so what do we have? So we have 2.052. So now, what's going to be the value of A now? So A now is going to be 28 divided by this. So what is that? So we have 28. So that's 13.64. 13.64. That is the value of A. That's the first part of the question. So Oh, sorry. Okay, my mic is muted. Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. I think I just need to work on it. It's off. All right, guys. I think you can hear me now. Yes, my mic just went off, so that's what happened. So, what I was saying now before was that the class have ended, and I'm actually appreciating you guys for waiting. For those of you that have been attending the class for a very long time, I appreciate you. Those of you that are just joining this class for the first time, I also appreciate you. And don't forget, if you are just joining the class for the first time, you have not subscribed, ensure you do that. Tap the like button, okay? And also what I said earlier was, make sure you practice. You see, the more you practice, better you become. You have all of these questions, similar questions in your textbook. Lay your hand on them and try and solve. If there's any question you are not able to solve, okay, you can bring the question to the class. Once we are in class like this, so you can type and drop your question in the comment section. So I'm going to attend to your question. Okay, so thank you very much. I wish all of you a good night rest, for those of you that are in Nigeria, okay, and others. So enjoy yourself. Thank you. Bye bye.